everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Dude Ranch DIY. My name is Jake, and today we are back in the woodyard with the RuggedMade log splitter. New cylinder on, hour meter on, a lot of modifications that we did, just button up loose ends. And right now we're going to button up one last loose end by doing a quick little oil change. So yeah, for those of you that might be new to the channel, this is my RuggedMade RS-737 log splitter. It is pretty heavily modified. I got a hydraulic wedge lift on the end here. I have full auto cycle. I have a dump valve over on this side. I've done modifications to the log lift. I've added on a second receiver hitch on the back end here, as well as modified the log sorting tray. This machine is great, but one of the biggest issues I had been having was that I kept breaking this bolt right here on my old cylinder. RuggedMade addressed this issue and was nice enough to send me out a brand new cylinder with this big beefy 1-inch pin. My last pin, I believe, was, I think, 7/16. So it wasn't even quite half an inch. And it just kept busting them up and breaking them. It was like I was breaking a pin every cord and a half to like 2 cords probably. I would bust open or bust a like grade 8 bolt. So it was really annoying. So I'm super happy to have the splitter finally done out here. I did a full hydraulic flush on it, all new hydraulic fluid, all new hydraulic filter, and now we're going to finish it up by doing a oil change on the machine. So I'm going to quickly do an oil change before it gets dark, and hopefully we will be able to split up some of these cut up rounds that I have sitting here. So here we go. So the placement of this drain plug is not the best spot because, as you can kind of see, I can get most of it, but it does kind of dribble down. So if you are doing an oil change on one of these machines, now granted this is an older one, they totally could have changed on the newer ones. If you have an older one, or if they haven't changed it, definitely recommend doing it somewhere where you don't care if you spill a little oil. We are going to be running 10W30, just SAE 10W30. That's what's recommended for here up in New England. So it looks like it's pretty much drained out, and we'll pop this back in. Now I did an oil change on this last year, but I figured, I don't know how many hours have been on the machine since I last did the oil change, but now that I have this new tachometer hour meter, I figured might as well just start out all fresh, all new fluid, all new oil change, all at once. So tighten this back up, fill her up. Okay. Guys, and just like that, we are full. I don't know if you can see the oil level here, but we are just below the high oil mark. So that is good. These take, I believe it's like just under or just over a quart. I forget. I just go based off that. And here is my new hour meter tachometer thing here. It also does service intervals. So as you can see, I've run 0.3 hours since installing it. It's really just testing it out. I haven't even split any wood, but super excited to put a couple more hours on it today, or maybe an hour, considering it's already getting kind of dark. So here we go. Got the IBC tote from where we left off, say 2 weeks ago, and got the tractor all hooked up to it with the pallet forks. We're gonna be testing out the big tool rack again as ballast using these big suitcase weights. And yeah, let's split some wood. I'm super excited to test out this big 1-inch pin. Shouldn't really change much, except I won't have to be worried about breaking bolts constantly. So here we go. Guys, that's all the time we have for today. You can see we filled up that other tote back behind the tractor and got a little bit of the way start on this other one. I promised Sarah that I would put up the Christmas lights on the little tree in front of our house, and before it gets too dark, I'm going to fulfill my promise. Otherwise, I will not be allowed back here in the wood yard. No, I'm just kidding. But I do want to get those Christmas lights up before it doesn't make any sense to put them on. I feel like if you wait too long to put up your Christmas lights, then what's the point in doing it anyway? So there are a couple things I wanted to go over with the splitter. Let me tell you what they are. Okay, so first things first, this new pin is awesome. Didn't move or budge an inch. It's great. However, I am noticing, well, actually, first things first, I took out the restrictor plate. The other holes are actually covered up right now, but I need to figure out the whole stroke restrictor plate because, as you can see, with the push block coming back as far as it is, it's actually, yeah, it's like pinching this hydraulic line here, which runs to the hydraulic wedge. So I think I need to, for the time being, it never used to because the wedge used to stop right here at these holes. So it was fine, it had plenty of clearance, but now that I temporarily do not have that there, I'm going to need to address that. So I think it's as simple as just disconnecting these two lines and running them on the outside of this valve, mounting plate here. And that'll give them more room to wiggle around and not get interference or not have interference with this. What was the other thing? Oh, the other thing is at some point this table, the sorting tray here, broke again. This has happened before. I've welded it, you can see in there. So while I'm going to be disconnecting these hoses anyway, I'm going to try to re-weld this. It's just tough because it's such thin metal that it's just kind of a pain in the butt. But I am going to wheel the splitter into the shop one more time to try and fix those couple things, and we should be good. My idea to fix the restrictor plate permanently is to just essentially make a new custom one. There were like these bushings in here kind of that seemed to be pressed in there, and they came loose, and that's why the restrictor plate was kind of giving way a little bit. Now the pegs on the restrictor plate that go down, they're threaded, and there's big wing nuts that come up from the underside to secure it to the I-beam. Those threaded like rods are much smaller diameter than this hole, so I'm gonna try and find some threaded rod that is this diameter. I think it's pretty much like 1 inch diameter, maybe a little shy of that, and either try and find some threaded rod or just some straight, rod, and then drill a hole through it and attach it with like a pin on the bottom, like a clevis pin, because that stroke restrictor plate is great. It really saves a lot of time. I mean, it's a full 30-inch stroke, and we split our wood to 16 inches, so it's a lot of wasted time just having the wedge come all the way back. But for the time being, the cylinder is working great. We have no leaks that I can see. Dump valve is good. New hydraulic filter. All in all, really happy. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be it. Like I said, I'm gonna go do those Christmas lights, keep Sarah happy. But I'm just happy to have the splitter back here in the wood yard, even if it was for a short period of time. Like I said, I'm gonna wheel it in the garage, make those couple fixes, and then we'll be back at splitting hopefully tomorrow. So as always, guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you haven't done so already, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. If you liked the video, give me a big thumbs up. Questions, comments, feedback on anything we did here today, put it in the comments section. But for now, I'm Jake. This is Dude Ranch DIY. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you here next time.